This is Legal Lore Part 96 Kindred, though I believe for me it would be like Part 15 or something, because this is new Canon lore. Fucking A, let's go. And this shit doesn't change later on, so that's good to hear. I think, I don't know, maybe it does. As far as I know, these stories about the characters now are canon. But we'll see.
Ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Lore of League of Legends.
Yeah.
This next installment, we're going to be covering the latest champions that were released into the league. Without further ado, I present to you the lore of Kindred, the Eternal Hunters. Enjoy. Maga was about to die for the 14th time. She had bitten into a rotten apple yet again.
Is her name Maga?
Its putrid flesh had, as always, infected her with carrion shame. The actress went through the motions of stumbling to her death while shouting her final words for all to hear. Oh, but how wondrous a dream is life! Only now, too late, do I wake to see its myriad of splendors, she bemoaned. With a puff of smoke and glittering powder, Kindred made a grand entrance upon the stage. As per tradition, they were played by one actor, his head covered by two opposing masks. He approached the white mask of the laugh faced me. Hark! Do I hear a plea for my keenest arrow? Come, child, let the warmth of your heart fade with the cold embrace of oblivion. Maga refused, as she had 13 times before. Any nuances in her performance were buried beneath the ear-splitting delivery of her scream. On cue, Lamb spun around, revealing the second mask, that of the wolf.
Okay.
There is naught you can do to stave off thine end, growled Wolf. I am but a poor young maiden.
Wait. Is this the Kindred champion skin? Was she always standing on top of somebody? Huh.
Please let my piteous cry fall on 4 of thine ears. The audience seemed enraptured by the unfolding dramatics of the Orphelin mechanicals. With the twin threats of plague and war on the tongues of those in neighbouring protectorates, death dramas were all the rage. Denji, the actor portraying both Lamb and Wolf, descended upon the young actress.
Lamb and Wolf.
Bearing wooden fangs. Maga offered her neck.
Maga.
She triggered the device sewn into her blouse's collar. Ribbons of red fabric unspooled to the delighted pips and yelps of the audience. They'd gotten what they paid for. By the time the mechanicals had staggered back to their wagon and set off in the direction of Needlebrook, there were no stars to be seen.
I'm so confused by the background story, like where are we, what's the situation kind of thing, like why is this an act, is Kindred an actress too, is this like part of the act, is this not a part of the act but the audience thinks it is, what is going on?
Instead, a veil of clouds stretched across the night sky. Needlebrook always delivered a good audience. Illusion, the company's owner and sole dramaturg, explained once more. He staggered around, drunk to his own accolades as well as the wine Park gifted from the locals. The night wore on, and the troupe had descended into bickering. Trier and Denji lambasted their playwright over the quality of his plots, which fell into the predictable structure. Tragedy strikes maiden, death finds maiden, death takes maiden. Illusion argued that complicated plots detracted from a good death scene. Maga, the youngest of the bunch, agreed with Trier and Denji's diagnosis, but kept her mouth shut. Had she not stowed away in the wandering troupe's wagon, she would certainly be somewhere far more miserable. Luckily for her, the mechanicals had recently lost several actors due to Illusion's insistence on complete artistic control. Because of his attitude and obvious mediocrity, they were facing a drought of fresh faces. And so, the Orphelin mechanicals agreed to contract Maga to die in all their dramatics with a single future, for which she had been grateful. Illusion was still smarting from Denji and Trier's words when he motioned to Park, their wagoner, to stop the late camp.
Dude, I'm so confused by this story, what the fuck is happening?
The inebriated auteur set out his bedroll and pried a place next to the wagon. He then threw the rest of the bedding into the long grass near the pine. Ungrateful players can sleep in the wolves, Illusion spat, where they shall hopefully find their manners.
Yo, look at the... Wow, I haven't seen this. Look at this. Look at the face of this character.
The rest of the troop built a fire and swapped.
Like when he comes in, you can see it's like a mini X-ray going on. When he leaves out, it's like a human. Yeah, that's cool.
Whispering potential names for their unborn child into each other's ears. They had nattered on about the day the travelling company would stop in Jandem, a town so perfect and peaceful they would set aside their vagabond ways to raise their child. Maga moved closer to the crackling fire, so its pops and whistles would drown out the hurts and affection to their travelling companions. But sleep never came. Instead, Maga tossed and turned, thinking about the looks on the audience's faces as the coiled spurts of blood unfurled from their neckline. A pretty maiden struck dead by her own naivety was all the theatrical pomp illusion could muster. Proud and lusted after the gruesome facade. Eventually, she left her bedroll and set out into the woods to soothe her unsettled mind. In the dead of night, Maga came upon a low grassy mound with slabs of standing stone at its base. Although she could not read the inscriptions, her fingers traced the familiar etching of Kindred's twin masks. This was a place of the dead, a burial site built long ago. She felt a chill on the back of her neck that compelled her to look up. She was not alone. Maga immediately understood what she saw, for she'd encountered a crude impersonation of them night after night. Poor Denji couldn't begin to instill the dread washing over Maga. Before her, perched on a weathered barrow archway, was Lamb herself, flanked by her ever-faithful counterpart. I hear a beating heart, said Wolf, his black eyes twinkling with delight. May I have it? Perhaps, replied Lamb. I sense she is afraid. Speak, tell us your name. I would have yours first, stammered Lamb. Stepping backwards, her slow escape was halted by the speedy wolf, who materialized and setting her close behind her. He spoke directly in her ear. We have many names. In the west, I am Ina to his Ani, said he. In the east, Faya to his Walyo. But we are kindred everywhere. I am always lamb to wolf, and he is always wolf to lamb. Wolf reared up and sniffed at Ina. She is playing a boring game, said Wolf. Let us play a new game, one of chasing and running and biting. She is not playing, dear Wolf, said the lamb. She is frightened and has lost her own name. It hides behind her lips, afraid to come out. Worry not, dear child. I have found your name. We know it as you know us, Maga. Please, Maga stammered. Tonight is not a very good night for... Wolf's great pink tongue lolled out the sides of his mouth as he proceeded to cackle. All nights are good nights for pouncing, said Wolf, laughing. All days are too, Lamb said. With light comes a clear shot. There is no moon tonight, cried Maga. She used what illusion had taught her to gesture grand, so those in the back could see her movements. It is hidden by a blanket of clouds, tucked away from my eyes and yours. Without the moon, what would be the last thing I would see? We see the moon, replied Lamb, as she caressed her favourite bow. It is always there. There are no stars, said Maga, trying again, this time gesturing small and speaking quietly. No menagerie of twinkling diamonds, glittering in the midnight hue. What more beautiful view could one hope for whence one meets Lamb and Wolf? This Maga thing is playing a new game, Ralph Wolf. It is called Story.
Yeah.
Wolf stopped moving and cocked his head to the side. He turned his sideways snout towards Maga. Can we play chasing the Maga thing and bite her to bits? Wolf clacked his fangs together loudly for effect. Let us ask her, said Lamb. Maga, do you prefer Wolf's chase or my arrow? Maga was trembling now. Her eyes raced to take in every last detail of her world around her. It wasn't such a bad place to depart. grass, there were trees, there was the ancient archway, there was stillness to the air. I would prefer Land's Arrow, she said, looking at the rough crust of bark on the trees. I'll imagine myself climbing to the highest boughs, like when I was a child, only this time I will never stop climbing. Is that what it is like to go with you? No, said Land, though it is a nice thought. Fear not, little maiden, we are just having fun. You have come to us tonight, we have not come for you. I cannot chase Magathing, said Wolf with a hint of disappointment in his voice.
Fucking wolf.
But there are other things nearby, other things ripe for chasing and fighting.
Yep.
Hurry, Lamb, I am hungry. Now know that your theatrics have pleased us.
I have no idea where he took the story from. Like, I actually, like, on the other screen, I was looking for Kindred's story. Like, what the fuck is Kindred and all that stuff. In the bio or in the Kindred story, there's nothing about Marga or Maga or Mega or Margit. I don't know what her name is. Margot. Interesting. I don't know where he took this story from.
Until the day we meet again. Wolf passed over Maga and disappeared into the woods.
Might be one of the comics, but it's not in the bio.
Tall grass. Maga looked back towards the weathered barrel. Lamb was gone. The actress fled. When Maga returned to the encampment, she found on taboo. The wagon she had only just begun to call home had been ransacked and reduced to a smouldering husk. Bits of clothing and ruined props lay strewn across the campsite. She found Denji's body near where he'd slept. He had died protecting Tria, whose corpse lay behind him. Judging from the trails of blood, their deaths had not been slow. They had dragged themselves towards each other, their fingers entwined in one last caress before death. Maga noticed that Illusion had managed to kill 2 of the bandits before being burnt to a crisp along with Para in the wagon. The only thing that remained untouched were Denji's lamb and wolf masks. Maga picked them up and held them in her hands. She placed the lamb mask over her own eyes and heard the voice of Wolf. Chase the Maga thing! The maiden ran the distance to the wood, never once looking back. The golden round was filled to the brim with a sea of twinkling eyes, all glittering in excitement to the velvet curtain. The king sat in the theatre with the queen and their advisors, all eagerly waiting the onset of the dramatics. Everyone hushed as the black curtain lifted to reveal the actors. Maga sat in a quiet dressing room on the stage. She heard the crowd fall silent as she studied herself in the mirror. The lustre of youth had faded her eyes years ago, and left her with a long shock of silver running through her hair. Madam, said the stage hand, you're not in costume yet. No, child, Maga said. They only dress at the last moment. It is the last moment, said the stage hand, holding 2 final pieces of Maga's costume. The same lamb and wolf masks from her days with your fellow mechanicals. May your performance be blessed tonight, the stage hand said. Maga prepared to leave for the stage. She slipped the masks over her head. The old chill from the dark barrel crept down her spine. She welcomed it, as always. She enthralled the audience as she glided onto the stage, embodying Lamb's graceful movements. She thrilled the crowd with her rendition of Wolf's playful savagery. She, as the twin death personified, eased the suffering of her fellow actors, or ripped it from their throats, until the crowd stood on its feet and erupted in thunderous applause. It was true. All audiences loved a good death, and they loved Maga's more than any other. Even the king and queen were on their feet in praise of her work. But Maga heard no applause and saw no ovations. She didn't even feel the stage beneath her feet, nor the hands of her fellow mummers in hers as they bowed low. All she felt was a sharp pain in her chest.
Oh, the arrow.
When Maga looked out over the audience, every single face was either a lamb or a wolf.
Not gonna lie,
And That's
Like I said, this is like similar with Kindred. I don't like these stories. It feels like it's trying too hard to portray this story through the eyes of somebody else that is not the character it's about. But for example, this video is about Kindred, but it's trying to portray Kindred through the eyes of Maga, or Marga, or Margie, or Marjo. I don't know, whatever the F their name was, right? It's like, I don't care, kinda, you know, I just want to know about Kindred. Like, I understand what Kindred is, I get it, but it's like, I want to know Kindred's story kind of thing, not people experiencing Kindred in their life, because this doesn't tell much about Kindred, aside from, well, she just brings death, for some reason. You know, she's just like, it's your time to die, so, you know, we come and kill you. She's like the Grim Reaper, basically. Or some shit like that. But it doesn't tell me anything about how she came to be, or like what motivates her, like doesn't tell me anything about Kindred herself, like personally, you know. But anyways, that's the video, and yeah, let's see. So here I was reading the biography, right, and it's like, Kindred did turn huntress, everyone never parted. Kindred represents the twin essence of death. Lamb's bow offers a swift release from the mortal realm for those who accept their fate. Wolf hunts down those who run from their end, delivering violent finality within his crushing jaws. Though interpretations, Jesus Christ, of Kindred's nature vary across Runeterra, every mortal must choose the true face of their death. And that's all it is, right? It's like, that's what I want to hear. Like, it's very straightforward, tells me about her. She's basically the Grim Reaper, but she gives you the choice of how you want to die, and stuff like that. But like how she came to be and whatever is not there, and definitely it's not here. Here, it's like, I can't even understand necessarily what the F is going on. What does the actress have to do with anything, you know, kind of thing. It was so, like, I just don't care about the actress, you know, stuff like that. Anyways, that's the video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.